Okay, hello. I'm so happy to be here with you on Wellness Wednesday. We're going to get started in just 1 minute. And so while we're still kind of waiting for a couple more people to show, let's turn off our distractions, get something to drink if you want, grab a piece of paper and a pen because I'm going to make you do a little work. You know, you're in for that. You know me. And settle in. And we'll get started in just a minute. Hello, everybody. I am super happy that you could spend this time with me. We are going to get right into the good stuff with the Wellness Wednesday workshop. Most of you already know me. My name's Vicki Whipking, and here's a few things about me that, if you do know me, won't surprise you at all. And if you don't, maybe will help you to realize that I'm a person too, and I'm not just sharing like theories with you about all of this, but I am actually, someone who lives by what I speak. And also, I'm not super obsessed or extreme in any way. So if you think that because we're doing a Wellness Wednesday workshop, you have to be like totally zen and guru and perfect and like up on everything, absolutely not. We are real people, and we're here to make our lives better in a gentle, productive way. And so that's kind of what I suppose the underlying feel or theory of me and my practice is. And there you can kind of see a little glimpse into the doorway of my office. And for those of you who do live here in beautiful Bozeman, Montana, you can come and see me at my office, and we can do some really amazing person-to-person kind of work, one-on-one. I also do lots of phone sessions and, of course, online work with my clients. So I'm happy to help you in any way that I can and help you understand, hopefully, some of these aspects of health and fitness that maybe are not so mainstream. I think everybody is pretty mainstream with things like alternative health and wellness and fitness and chakras and all that kind of woo-woo stuff. No, that's probably just me, but I really want you to know I am just a regular person. So I'm not like always chanting or wearing weirdo clothes or something sometimes, but not all the time. All right, so let's get into it. Self-care 101. These are the basic routines that make your day awesome. And if you look at our little girl in the picture there, she looks like she's got a lot going on, but also that she's way together, right? And that everything just kind of happens for her effortlessly, and it's all just sort of magical. That's what I want your life to look like. That is not what my life always looks like or always has looked like, but I work every day to make this as much of my experience as I can and to share all that with my clients. So first things first, get rid of all your distractions. You have come and joined me now for 1 hour. So let's commit and let's be really present, because that is the most powerful way that you can affect change in your life, is to do one thing at a time, one important thing at a time. So hopefully you can turn some things off, set aside your busyness, and be right here with me with open minds and open hearts, because you are worth it. And so here's what we're going to kind of learn tonight, a quick overview. We're going to talk about why having strong self-care routines are crucial to your success, no matter what you do. If you're a mom, Yeah, you need this. If you're a working mom, you so need this. If you're a busy executive, you probably already are realizing that you need routines at work. Well, your body is your mind, and your spirit is what fuels your success at work, what allows you to do your work or to be a mom. So this is super crucial, guys. That's why I'm calling it 101. How to get motivated to take great care of yourself. Yeah, okay, we all want to do good stuff, but I'm going to help you get your real reasons in line. And we're going to decide, what things are non-negotiable for you, because not everyone's the same. And that is absolutely another principle of what I share with my clients is you got to figure out your own sort of, sweet spot with things. But I'm going to give you a lot of information and tools and suggestions and strategies to help you customize and get the results that you want. So I'm going to give you a few hints about that. And then I'm going to show you just a simple method, more like a mindset, but it's a method to build your ideal schedule and to really make it work for you, make it count, and make it effortless. Yeah, that's my goal. That is my goal in all of the things that I do and all the things that I share with my women. I want you all to have effortless, productive lives. It's possible. Okay, so if you've joined me tonight, I'm going to be kind of saying, oh, here's a suggestion. Oh, here's what your body really wants you to do. And if you come up with things that are kind of like, yeah, I don't think that's going to work for me though. Or what the heck? What does she think this is? Vacation time? You'll laugh later when you see some of my suggestions. That is resistance. Anything that kind of goes, yeah, but you can't do this, or here's a problem, or I don't know how that's going to work. That is your ego or your monkey mind or your fear keeping you small. And it will come up with lots of reasons why this isn't going to work or whatever. And it might bring up some emotions. It might make you defensive and say, well, this is the way I've always done it. Or I don't have this is the only way. I don't have a choice in how my day goes. I just get all this shit dumped on me. Okay. All of that, whatever that brings up in you, it's good. We're going to use it. I want you to tap into it, be present with it, and recognize that it's not as powerful as it's coming off. And in fact, the real power is what lies on the other side of that resistance. The more and anger or frustration or despair you have about any of the things we're going to talk about tonight, about making some changes here, the more resistance or the more whatever you have come up, that is just an indication that there is that much more power waiting for you on the other side of it, because you can take all of that and redirect it into something that's powerful and positive and that works for you. And I'm totally serious. I'm going to help you. All right. So let's get into it. Self-care 101. All right, so you've heard about, my morning routines, 5 things to make your morning routine great. Well, yeah, okay, so what is so important about a routine? And when I was thinking about this today, I always think about how easy grade school seemed. You didn't have much resistance to grade school. At least I didn't. Maybe, everyone's a little bit different, but going to 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade really wasn't a challenge or a problem. And it was because a routine was laid out for me and tons of decisions were made already for me. And all I had to do was fall in line and sit and listen and participate when told and run outside for recess a couple of times. And it was such a great system. You can do the same thing. In fact, it's almost required of us to kind of fall back into those set up routines that allow you to put all of your mental focus on the things that really matter. Because a routine is something that's automatic, right? It's something that you do it over and over and over and over again so that you don't have to think about it. You don't have to question it. You don't have to say, is that what I should be doing right now? Is that right? Well, what if I want to do something else? What if that's an option? Routines take away all that fatigue, that angst, that anxiety in your head, and pare it down to just a few pockets in your day where you are forced to deal with stuff and have to make your decisions. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Routines make you successful. So when you go to your job, you have certain expectations. And I find that it is so easy to go to a job, and for me, I'm a checklist kind of person. Maybe not everyone is, but I think certainly large corporations are run on checklists and routines. And you can stick an employee in at most levels, and there is some sort of protocol that with minimum amount of effort and training, you can figure it out and just go through the motions every day. So who gives you the training and the tools and the motivation to work on yourself? You feel like you get home at night and you have given everything to your work and job and routines outside of the house or outside of your self-care. And then you come home and you're like, I just can't do it. It's so hard. Maybe some of you are a little bit opposite and you do real well with like running and fitness routines and diets and things, but then at work you're like a total mess. That's a different kind of story there. But I think most of us fall into that first feeling of, I don't have anything left. I don't know where to start. I can't do all of this work. I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you the training, the tools, and help you really put that extra effort in, because we're just doing things all wrong. We're doing too much, and there's too many choices, and there's too many influences. What the beautiful thing that routines do is they eliminate decision making for, I would say, 75% of your day. Because the more the more decisions you have to make, the more you have to decide what to do next, or how to do it, or what to do it with. It just drains you. But once you get into a routine of something and you do it over and over, and you know exactly what to do, and you stop questioning it and you know it works, well, then that's easy. And then you can save your effort for things that really count, like, not being too tired and then wanting comfort food instead of something healthy. Because by the end of the day, you have made so many decisions about everything that you just can't even make a good decision anymore. And you default to either doing nothing or not doing the productive thing, or self-sabotage. Basically, name your poison on the self-sabotage scale. But that's usually what ends up. We try to be real good. I'm going to get up tomorrow and everything's going to be great. But so many of these things we're just winging it and pulling it all together at the last minute, or overwhelmed by things. We can't seem to get ahead of this, kind of tidal wave that is our life. And pretty soon everything starts unraveling itself, because you make bad decision after bad decision and get into bad routines. You don't know it, but you're already in routines. You just haven't maybe actively decided that you're going to be the Netflix binge couch potato routine. And we're moving into winter, so we want to make sure that we're really doing the good things for ourselves before winter and the holidays hit. So by the end of the day, if you don't want to be making bad decisions, you have to have a routine down about everything that you do. So Steve Jobs, he famously was a man of routines. He would get up every day very early, and he would do the certain things in his routine and make sure that he had the time to do them. That's why he got up early. And then He would wear the same thing. He would eat the same breakfast. He would do a similar workout routine or in the same order or whatever, so that all of that stuff was on autopilot. And he could put his mental capacity, his emotional capacity, his inspiration, his physical energy into creating and changing our world. So it's no secret that the top people in their fields get up early. They have set morning routines and work routines and evening or bedtime routines, and they live by them. And that is what makes them so capable. Okay. Okay, so what if you don't care? What if you're just like, I don't need to be uber successful here. I'm just trying to run my family and go to work every day. But chances are there's something happening with you that's not working. And this is what I see all the time with my clients. They might be doing okay in one or two areas, like eating or sleeping or work or romance. And then one or two areas might be falling off a cliff. The wheels have long broken off and this vessel is just heading straight over a cliff. And that begins to pull everything else down the tubes. And I see it happen again and again where you just can't quite get all of it together. So chances are, if you're like any of my clients, you've got an issue brewing, whether it's fatigue, or it's some kind of stress-related, illness, or if it's just, if you feel like you're just gonna, want to just one day walk up and drop everything and go, take this job and you know what, and you're like, that's crazy. I can't keep doing what I'm doing. What's going to happen if you continue on this path of not quite getting it all together? Can you keep this up for 3 months? What's going to happen to your health if you keep, just winging this or not figuring out this crucial aspect somehow next year? By next year, what if you waste another year being like this, doing the same things that don't work? What's going to happen to your work life or to your relationship in 3 years? Are you going to be able to even, recoup? If you keep this up for 3 years, how are you ever going to dig yourself out of where this is headed? You can kind of see where this is headed if you keep doing this thing that's not working for you. And you're always feeling, well, I'll tell you how maybe I think you might be feeling just in just a few minutes here, and you can kind of agree with me or not. But I really want you to take it seriously. And that's why I am so, so, so glad that you're here. Like I said before, I'm going to help you figure out your reasons. I'm going to give you some really great tools because I really want you to be able to live your life the way you want to and honor the things that are important to you, especially your body, mind, and spirit. Because as most of you have probably gotten a clue about, you can't work on one without the other. They're all interconnected and they're all very, very, very important. So that is my bottom line approach is you got to go with all three. And I hope that I can really help you get a handle on all of those aspects. Okay, so let's get to work. First step, you got to determine your purpose. If you're going to get it together and really, stop this runaway train from happening, you have to get a really great purpose. Why do you want to make these changes? What's going on? You see this girl here, and I think so many women can think that this is actually just normal. Like, I've just been doing this for so long, and there's a lot more than that. She'd have to have like 15 hands or something to deal with everything. I think so many women can understand that, but it's not just normal. It's not something that we should just say, well, I'll just have to get through it, or I have no choice in the matter. And like I said before, if you don't make these choices or changes, figure some things out for you, you're going to get left behind because the world will continue to put its agenda in front of you and try to pull you in all kinds of directions if you don't take control. So here's some reasons maybe why you might want to make some changes. For your health and self-esteem, if you don't have your health, you're not going to be able to go to work or help your family enjoy your life, right? Your family and relationships. Your family depends on you, and vice versa. Of course, that is a huge part of all of our lives, and they actually are kind of, what make life worth living, of course. You have work responsibilities and you have a household to run. Absolutely, that's something that, sometimes you kind of are like, I wish I didn't have to do all of this, but you do really want these aspects in your life and you want to do them well. You want to be proud of them. You want to be successful. Friends and recreation. I mean, where would we be without this? Another, really, really good reason to want to show up for your life and find time. I just literally, like an hour ago, had one of my best friends who I have been thinking about and going, how are we ever going to get together? Oh my gosh, which is silly because she lives like just right over there. And she just texted me like literally an hour ago saying, I miss you. Blah, 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 all of the girlfriend stuff that you say. And I'm just like, I know. Oh my God. So important. Your personal interests, your me time or your downtime, that's got to be in there somewhere too. I mean, if you're only doing work and other people's agendas, like, where are you in all of this? And that can be very frustrating and lead to a lot of resentment and confusion. And yeah. And, life in general is a pretty amazing thing. And you have been blessed with a physical body and a very intelligent, intuitive mind and a very sensitive spirit. And your body, like I said, your body, mind, and spirit are what make up you. It's not just about your body or whatever. Life is a gift, and we all know this. And if you've ever felt like your life was in jeopardy a little bit, you know real well how important it is and how much you want it. Definitely. It's not something to be taken for granted. So I think, all of those reasons together, and you may have some more reasons or different reasons. That's great. But I think most people can, agree that this is what we're doing. All right. So what are the 3 biggest priorities in your life? Where are the 3 things that you need to either work on or continue to have success with, or put most of your effort towards? Because this is where you get out your pen and paper, right? This is where I think a lot of people miss it. And then it's too late and they're like, oh, right, I should have said yes to that instead of that other stuff. So as you're kind of thinking, I'm going to give you like 30 seconds here to kind of just tune into this for yourself. If you could only do 3 things, focus your energy on 3 things, what would they be? 3 goals. 3 places you're going to put your effort and energy and time. They could be family members. It could be a project. It could be a mission statement of sorts. What's important to you? What do you value? And this is something that maybe you need time to think about, or it will definitely evolve over time as well. Self-care in itself, like your body and your mind and your spirit change year after year after year. It evolves So you're going to have to come back and revisit this and revisit your routines and make sure that you are doing the best thing for you at each stage. So right now, what are these 3 biggest priorities? Now, that's your purpose. Now we have to decide our practices. What practices do I need to include in my self-care routine so that those purposes, those 3 big priorities, happen? What's important? So I'm just going to throw this out here. How do you feel on a daily basis? Now, if you're thinking that the girl over here on the right is the way you've been feeling for a long time, or the way that you feel like you're always going to feel, we're going to put a big stop to that, because there is nothing exciting about feeling like that. Your purpose will not happen if you feel like that every day. So there has to be something that happens, some things that you put into place so that you avoid that, that look. Hot, sexy, right? How do you feel on a daily basis? Let me just maybe kind of throw some things out here about how you might feel on a daily basis. Because I know how I want to feel. And I think I can probably guess how you want to feel after a day. Maybe you want to feel any or all of these. That would be nice, wouldn't it? To like get done with your day and feel like any of those. Check 1, check 2. I think that would be worth it, right? And you'd be like, okay, I did something great today. I'm just like when you got done with school at the end of the day and your teacher said you could go, you had this permission and you got your stuff done and you did what was required of you, and then you could go play. And then you could go, and I would run home every day and I'd fix myself a bowl of cereal and I would watch, what would I do? I would fix myself a bowl of cereal. I would watch the Brady Bunch after school, and then I would practice piano, and then I would go outside and play. And then I would come back in like half an hour before dinner and get on with things. I mean, you had this routine. And once somebody said, okay, you're done, it was like, yay! Who says that to you as an adult that says, okay, you're done for the day? If anything, people continue to ask you for things or to say, oh, no, your day's not done yet, friend. You still have, this, and this. We need all of this from you. How come you couldn't get all of those things done? And we might end up feeling like some of these things. And who wants this at the end of the day? You have worked so hard. You've taken care of everything that's been thrown at you. You feel like you get run over by a Mack truck, like our little lady in the previous image there. It's not fair that I should always feel like this. Well, these 2 columns here are the results of your routines, or lack thereof, perhaps, or they're the wrong routines or something. You're doing the wrong things if you're always getting a lot of the right-hand column and not so much of the left. And maybe part of it is you don't even really realize how successful you are and how great you are and how much you have done, and you can be satisfied at the end of what you've done today. It's a great feeling to do a good day's work and to know that you're like, okay, great. And it's not so great to have to continue to slog through your days feeling like the thing on the right there. So routines make your life easy. Not having to make decisions is easy. Putting practices in place are so worth it. So get your piece of paper again. What are the non-negotiables in my life? And what that means is, when you go on vacation, here I'm throwing that vacation idea out there too. Again, when you go on vacation, what are the things that you're going to be doing no matter what day of the week it is? Because if it's Bahamas Day or if it's Christmas Day or what things are non-negotiable. So for me, it's a shower for sure. It's hot water with lemon in the morning if possible. It's so much so that I want to take my own lemons everywhere. If I go anywhere. What else? My daily routine. A little bit of stretching and yoga. My probiotic. I love that. A few of the other kind of little mini meals that I eat all day long. And there's so many things that like I can do them anywhere. They hardly take anything. They're super convenient. And they're all things that make me feel awesome and have energy. Those are my non-negotiables. They are the things that I have to do for myself, whatever I decide those things are, but I'll give you some hints here, that make me successful, that make me energized, that help me get more of that left-hand column and less of that right-hand column, your non-negotiables. So here's a few ideas. If you're just like, I don't even know, I just get up every day and I do whatever, I just wing it. And I can understand that too, because after being in school for 14 years or 17 years, however long we're in school for, some of us start to rebel. That's certainly what I did. I was like, I don't need tools or any routines. And it didn't quite work for me for a long, long time. The more routine my life was, the more routine my jobs were, the easier it was. So here's some non-negotiables. You're not going to get very far if you're not doing these things. There is just no room for going days and days without any of these. Your body will start to shut down. Here we're getting into some things that feel a little bit more like they fit in little nooks and crannies, perhaps, or we don't understand why they are a foundational part of our day. For some people, maybe they are. But if you don't have this, moving into this body, mind, spirit, this spirit part of your day, it's going to be not as effortless, let me say it that way, as some of the others. And as we're building this up, okay, yes, we need this every day too. Stress relief and our social and family life, for sure. Like if you take family and friends away, it's incredibly hard to function. And stress relief, stress builds up on all of us, just like, mold and mildew or whatever. And you got to work at removing it. And you got to work at having more positive things than stress. Okay, so work and responsibilities, they absolutely are part of our lives, part of our non-negotiables. We all need to do something work-related almost every day, preferably. But look at how far down on the list it is. You need all of these things so that you can do great work for your responsibilities. And you can bring your best self. And yeah, so we also have to do like chores and errands and stuff like that. But if we're getting all of these things happening, work and responsibilities, chores and errands become just part of the day and really easy. And I can handle it because I'm really good at what I do and I take really good care of myself. It all trickles. This is where trickle down happens. It doesn't happen in the economy, perhaps, but it happens here for sure. So out of these things, okay, so specifics, what type of nutrition do I need? How much water do I need? What kind of sleep? What kind of exercise? There's tons and tons of info about that out there. And I'm happy to help you with it. And a lot of our Wednesday wellness workshops are going to be around just all of these things right here. So stick with me if you want to have more info. I'm not going to go into a lot of specifics But later on, when I get into our routines, I'll help you out with some of this. But a lot of it is, already out there a little bit. We just didn't know we had to really prioritize it, perhaps like this, or really make the connection that when I can get all of these into a daily, weekly kind of routine, the rest of my life is so much easier. In fact, all of my life is easy then. And so we are going to do that right now. Create your schedule. You have to create your schedule, or it will be created for you, for sure. I mean, life will just be like, oh, here, and dump a bunch of stuff. I mean, if you do not construct the framework of how you live your life and insert the pieces and say yes to each or no, and they don't get on your calendar, you have to be very discerning and very purposeful and very specific about that. And you have to live by your schedule. And that's just kind of what I was, mentioning with like being a grade schooler, or like going to like a retreat or a spa kind of, or meditation retreat or something, or yoga retreat, is that all your decisions, all of your basic needs are taken care of. They tell you when to do everything, and everything has its place, and you put just enough time on all of it. Think about what you did in, school, when you would spend 1 hour on each subject every day. It was amazing what you could accomplish. And none of it really felt, at least back in my day, in the 80s, grade school was, for me, very easy. It didn't feel rushed, and it didn't feel like there was a lot of pressure. It felt, you just do your thing, and then you get to go home and watch Brady Bunch. Like, it was easy. Your life can be that easy. You just have to, kind of take control and be the boss. Okay, so here you see why I've been making a couple of little vacation jokes. Your life should feel effortless, like this lady relaxing. And now so many of you right now are probably like, what is she talking about? My life has never felt like this. It could never feel like this. That's that famous resistance I was talking about. Now, you're not always going to have the opportunity to sunbathe and drink a margarita every day. But the things that you do in your life and that you include in your life should give you that sense of peace and happiness that you might get having earned a vacation like this. Because that feeling of pleasure and enjoying life shouldn't be just reserved for vacation. It should be every day. Going through your regular routine in the morning, your quote morning routine, it should be a pleasure instead of a rush job. There should be a reason and a purpose and some thought and structure behind everything, so that things do open up for you and you can find that time to be like, I'm going to take my me time. If you're not getting your me time, you need to reprioritize. And I know that that's true for so many women. And here's the line of thinking that gets you there. The line of thinking is, in order for me to feel good, I want everyone around me to feel good. And that means that all of their needs have to be taken care of, because I know how to take care of my friends and family. So I am going to help them with their stuff. I'm going to make sure things get done, and I am going to go above and beyond so that they feel awesome. Are you with me on this? Does this feel right? Like what you're trying to do? In the process, you overgive of yourself, and you set your own priorities to the side. So much so that I think some women tell me that they don't even have time to go to the bathroom during the day. That is a recipe for disaster. The more you give and the less you fill up your tank, the more stressed out and unsatisfied, that whole right-hand column we went over, the more you're going to feel that. It is vitally important that you are strong and healthy and content and accomplished and proud and all of those things on the left-hand column. It is vitally important to the survival of your family that you take care of yourself, Self-care 101, put me first. So these things that are out of whack with your life, okay, if you're like kind of not sure what I'm saying, let's kind of see how many of these ring a bell. If you feel always stressed and pressured, like you always have to be doing something, you can never catch up. If you procrastinate on things, you just dread doing them. Or if you find yourself also running late a lot and just like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so late, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I forgot this again. Uninspired, bored with your life, bored with your situation, don't want to do it anymore, even though it's like, okay, yeah, I get up and I do my thing every day. If you're disorganized and unfocused, if you're scattered, if you feel like you're being pulled in like 50 different directions, I totally know what that's like. Even though you're like, I'm very capable, but somehow my life just feels like a bomb went off. And you also feel like you're missing out on your life. Anybody? Is this ring a bell with anybody? I think I probably gotcha on at least 4 out of 5 here. I don't know. Just guessing. It might just be the fact that I've worked with women for like 8 or 9 years, and these are the big red flags and the symptoms that you're not taking charge of your life, and everybody else is pulling pieces from you and depleting you, and you cannot serve from an empty cup. You cannot serve from an empty cup. So I want you to pull the reins in here, open your mind a bit, get out that piece of paper again. Tell me, what is your ideal day? What is your ideal day? Now, some of you are like, on vacation? At work. And what I've been kind of saying, this whole progression here, is that your work days should feel like a vacation, and your vacation days should have some kind of self-care structure. So really, your ideal day still has this, flow to it and this structure, but it should include all the things that you want, all the things that make you successful and happy and inspired and accomplished, so that you can take all of that wonderful energy and offer it to your work and your responsibilities. Are you with me on that? So write it down. What is your ideal day? By the way, I'm going to have you email me your homework here. So I hope you've been following along and doing the work. What's your ideal day? Don't censor yourself. I ask my clients this question very often. And a lot of it sounds like we need to have like 48-hour days instead of 24-hour days because we want to cram so much in, but that's good. Time is not, don't worry about how long all this takes, or if it makes sense, or if you can do it. What's your ideal day? What does it consist of? What's that thing you sit there and you daydream about? Maybe for you is that beach chair idea. I think for a lot of us, it's the beach chair idea. I don't know. I can't come up with any more. Whatever your happy place is, what does that look like? What kind of activities happen? How are you going to feel? What things are going to make you feel that way? What's not going to be there? What will you not put up with on your ideal day? Keep writing. Now, for so many of you, your ideal day probably has something like, I'll sleep in. And I can totally understand why, because you're probably deprived, but like most of my clients. It has something like, I'll get a mani-pedi or go to a movie or spend time with a friend. Yep. Mm-hmm. It might be something like, dinner is already cooked, or I'm going to have a lovely cocktail, or I'm going to um, have a piece of chocolate cake or some kind of indulgence. Maybe there's some playing time with my friends and family, recreation of some sort, a lovely sunset. Maybe there's a lovely bedtime scenario happening. I'm thinking some candles and soft music. Paradise, right? You would not believe how many times I prescribe all of those things as homework for my clients. My homework for my clients is the best homework. It really is. Every time I'm like, okay, now go be good to yourself. Everyone's like, what? Yes. All of those things that I was just talking about, it's not some fantasy. They can be part of your real day, except for maybe the sleeping in part. But if you're not sleep deprived, you won't need to sleep in. Okay. Your morning. Focus on something productive, whether you're going to work or if it's like, it's a Saturday kind of feeling or something like that, where there's something that you're taking care of business with, because most of us need a little something to do. So maybe it's work, maybe not. In the afternoon, let's shift more into play mode. Like you're getting tired by the end of the day. You already got that decision fatigue that we were talking about. Sneak in a little something lighter, a little something that takes the edge off, makes things fun. And then the evening, you want to rest, relax, kind of shut down. So these are the principles around those three parts of our day. And now, depending on when you get up and when you go to bed and what your schedule really looks like, some of you might have an extreme schedule, which is another kind of, issue. But most of us are on that sort of 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. It's not as rigorous as you might think. I have some women who come in, they're like, I don't have a minute free. I don't have time to go to the bathroom. And I'm just like, well, then you need to make some decisions, because how long can you keep this up? If you've got a job like that, you need to talk to your boss, talk to your coworkers, or just simply start taking some of your power back, and no one probably will notice. So much of that we put on ourselves, of having to meet everyone's demands and leave our own to the side. It's just a recipe for disaster. Okay, how do we do that? So in the morning, sensible, consistent, and nourishing. Got to do the hard thing first, swallow the frog, just get it out of the way. And a lot of times that's the thing you've been procrastinating, or a work thing, or doing an unpleasant task. Just get it done with. You need to save your mental capacity for mornings. And that's the time where generally your body wants a little bit of exercise, a little bit of food, and is ready to do its best creative thinking. So the more you can be routine in the morning, and I'm not talking like the 8 a.m. hour, I'm talking like, take the whole morning and get some of this stuff in. Work it in. See how it moves best for you, because I can't prescribe and say, okay, from 7 to 7:15, this is what you do. You're not a child. We're not in school anymore. You have to create what works for you. So taking that purpose and those non-negotiables and now fitting it into a sensible daily sort of routine, because you're not always going to be on every day, right? But every morning we want to make sure that we're taking care of business, basically. Got to get up early. Here are my recommendations. Drink some warm water with lemon. Sometimes I put in some honey or some ginger. Take a hot shower followed by a cold splash. I swear by this. It's wonderful. Yes, even in the winter, it's fine. Do some movement, whether that's yoga or stretching or a walk or whatever kind of movement. It doesn't have to be a full-on workout. Just get your body moving. Just takes a few minutes. Some breathing and intention just to kind of settle and focus and intend to have a great day. And then you want some fat and protein for breakfast for sure. And if you're clever, you set that up the night before. The more you just do these things and the less decisions you have to make about what to eat for breakfast, just eat the same thing for breakfast. Or the same 2 or 3 choices maybe for breakfast, and that's it. School menu, that's it. We've got a million choices out there. Nope. Take control so that you are not caught without something later and you end up getting a donut. No. Go through these things as non-negotiables, and then you're going to be ready to work for sure, especially if you get up early. The afternoon, convenient, diverse, and small. So do what's easy for you. Save like email tasks, which usually aren't that urgent anyway, or, some of those little to-dos that just sort of don't have the big ticket item on them, but you got to still kind of get them done. Some of the bookkeeping tasks or, clearing up the clutter on your desk or whatever. Just focus on kind of organizing and finishing up. Get out there, go for a walk around the block, go get some coffee or something. Work in a remote area if you can, or, in a different room or something. Just change it up a little bit. We're not robots. We can't be chained to the desk, okay? And have a short nap and a snack. And if you don't believe that you can take a short nap in the afternoon, I'm going to do a whole thing on power naps and how you can fit them into your routine to become super successful, because I know you all are tired by like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and you still have half of your day left. So yes. So in the afternoon, that small snack, for me, it's like dried fruit and nuts. It's super portable. It's healthy. It gives me the energy to get through the rest of the day. I can keep a lot on hand. And socializing, this is where we kind of want to chit chat maybe a little bit more in the office, or make a date for a coffee or a walk later on or something, work that in. And you don't have to spend a lot of time on any of these or do them all every day, or some of them you can do at the same time. So there's always a way to work in some of these small things. And if you do things a little bit at a time and make them feel like part of your day, then you can just keep on adding a few new things in after time, and you don't even have to think about this stuff anymore, and you're living a healthy lifestyle. In the evening, plan something that you're excited about, something that's different, something that's not work or that's out of the ordinary a little bit, and feel like you have attended to the necessities of the day and things feel complete. Don't just run yourself ragged and then like collapse into bed. You need a really great bedtime routine for sure. So here's a little sample of that. Simple, healthy meal. We should be eating a lot of our nutrients earlier in the day, and a soup or salad dinner is probably the best bet. Spend some time with your family around the dinner table, work on a hobby, do something fun that can all be spent with family, however this works out for you. Tidy up a little bit, set yourself up for tomorrow so you don't have to make decisions early in the morning. You've already made the decision to get up and work out. You've already made the decision on what you're going to eat. You've already made the decision on what you're going to wear. It takes a few minutes, especially if, just like Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg, they wear the same thing to work. You got the professional look and you got the casual Friday look. And that's all you do. And that's all you wear. Now, most of us want a little bit more than that, but you can see the basic genius of that. If I don't have to decide what to wear, and that's the wonderful thing about going to school. Maybe some of you went to school with a uniform or something, or some of you wear a uniform to work. You know exactly what's expected of you based on your clothing. It's genius. Tidy up and prep for tomorrow. Make sure that you are ready to do your self-care routine rather than put out fires or find your keys. And then shut down early. This is that solid bedtime routine with those self-care practices and maybe even a bedtime snack that promotes sleep or something like that to really take it down and let your body rest and your mind rest and do the things that clear your head and make you feel like you're done. Because no one can do that for you but you. And if dishes wait till the next day, sometimes that's fine, sometimes it's not fine, but you really need to make sure you're doing the good things for yourself all day long. And when you get routines happening, you don't have to think about it and you don't have to make those hard decisions. You don't have to struggle to avoid eating a whole pint of ice cream because you'll take that fatigue away. So a few simple tips, harder things earlier in the week or in the day. We're always pretty raring to go and productive on Mondays and Tuesdays. My phone rings off the hook. My email, it goes berserk on Mondays. Everybody's trying to get shit done. Take advantage of that. Set yourself up for doing the hard and the thinking tasks earlier in the day or earlier in the week. Make sure you get that self-care in the morning done. For a long time when I was training for this, I wouldn't allow myself to do any work until I got my self-care done. And if that took me 20 minutes or 2 hours, if I procrastinated or if I was just like, I don't want to do sit-ups, I made myself get my self-care done before I went on to work. And now it's super easy. And it only takes me, like my 20-minute morning routine. So simple. Take breaks throughout the day. It's so important. You cannot run yourself ragged, and you actually will be more productive if you take small breaks. Mix it up in the afternoon, do something fun in the evening, and do not try to squish it all in on the weekend. This is how we sabotage our work week, is by the weekend comes, we say yes to a whole bunch of stuff. We try to get home improvement projects done. We try to have tons of fun and try to rest all in like 36 hours? No, those things need to be part of your regular week. And it's your lifestyle. Then learn to say no to the things that distract or overwhelm you. So some of that might be spending too much time, just browsing your phone purposelessly, or that might be saying no to commitments that you're really not into, but you felt like you should say yes. And just really focusing on the things that make you feel great so that you have time to feel like you are living the dream life. I really want that for you. And if you don't decide to do it, life's never going to just serve you up a beach chair. You got to make that happen, girl. And you can totally do it. You can take control no matter what your circumstances, no matter what's going on in your life. If you do not take control, it will never happen. And you only have yourself to be responsible in that situation. So, and then one last thing here from the oh so old and wise Adele, although her success certainly warrants her wisdom. I've learned the main thing in life is you get what you put in. If you want success, if you want life to be effortless, you got to put in the time and put the tools and strategies in place to make sure that that happens for you. So you're here because something's not quite working for you. Maybe you were feeling more of that right-hand column of like the scattered and the drained, the unfulfilled. And you dream of this like healthy life, but you can't quite get it all happening. Something always comes up. You get off track. You lose your oomph. Well, if you're here once and for all and you really want to get your routines together, you want to feel great, you want to be proud of your body and your mind and your spirit, it's time for you to really commit. And I've got something special that I think can really, really help. And it goes right along with what we've been talking about tonight. And honestly, you have two options. You can go about figuring out what is awesome for your lifestyle, what is going to make your lifestyle click and give you that success. Or you can do it the easy way and let me show you a really simple, easy thing that you can start right now. Because I've been there too. I'm not just saying, oh, hey, here's some really great woo-woo stuff to do. No, I'm giving you practical things that I know work. I have done the research. I've gone to the trainings. I've worked with clients. I've put this in place for myself, for sure. And I really want you to be able to benefit from that. So if you want to really get these routines down, it all starts with sleep and stress relief, self-care, all of it. And you can feel better and look better as a result, as a side effect. Definitely. What if getting this boost, not just on what I've shared with you tonight, but actually some specifics on how to implement this, and really, you've got to start with your sleep so that you can have the energy to make the great decisions, to do the workouts, to make the healthy choices, to be awesome at work. It all starts with your sleep. So I've created Sleep Yourself Skinny. So this is going to help you reset your body to lose weight. Your body is on a clock, on a internal body clock. And as I've been showing you these routines, they are deeply aligned with your body clock and what your physical body and your organs and everything, what they naturally want from hour to hour, quite literally. And so all of those routines that I showed you, why you need the morning routine is like this and the afternoon routine is like that, they're all based on this body clock. And if you can reset your body along those lines, you will start getting not only the best rest of your life and not be sleep deprived. So maybe you don't need to sleep in on your ideal day. For me, my ideal day is getting up at 6 a.m. for sure, because I don't want to miss out. I got a lot to do. I got a lot to experience. I got a lot of fun to have. And as a side effect, you can lose weight. And I'm totally serious. Totally serious. It all starts on that stress scale. And I explained to you how stress is making you lose sleep, is making you unhealthy. Absolutely. It's a vicious cycle, and most of us are caught up in it. I'm going to show you how to get out of it. So seriously, I have put together, I did so much research for this and study after study after study. And I've put it down and distilled it into simple practices that you can implement that once you start doing them, you're not going to want to stop. They become your non-negotiables. And it simply helps make every other aspect of your life click. I have created simple things, checklists. I told you earlier, I am a checklist person. I wanted to put down all of the things that, okay, if I'm going to get a good night's sleep, what are all the things that go into that? And I've been telling my clients this over and over. Here are the things you need to do before you go to bed. Here are the things you need to do so that you get a good night's sleep. Here are the things that you need to eat so that you are helping your body process well. And I'm not just talking about what to eat before you go to sleep, although it's everything. It's breakfast, lunches, dinners, everything. Bedtime snacks, things to avoid, practices and foods to avoid before going to bed. Oh yeah, Guilty. Oh, so guilty. And how to eliminate stress. Deep sleep hack. It's as easy as that, for sure. I don't want you just slogging through. I want you to be able to, starting now, tonight, move your healthy lifestyle into focus. And know that that is the most important thing, powerful thing that you can do for that purpose. Remember those purposes I had you write down that you're going to send in to me, by the way? Tell me your purpose. Because the investment here, you're gonna be shocked. I am giving you, just this once, a huge deal. Huge deal. Right now, my regular price for Sleep Yourself Skinny, I've sold it for $97 before. Right now, it's $47 for my regular price. Tonight, $7. Why $7? Because like I've said, this is where you start. I want all of us to stop being sleep deprived. And really, I didn't realize how sleep deprived I was until I made it my goal to start getting up at 6 a.m. And my purpose for that, mind you, was because my husband is getting up at 6 a.m. and I wanted to be awake when he left for work. That's it. It's kind of a big purpose. I'm still working on it. I do get up at 6 a.m. every day. It's usually when he's walking out the door. I'm working on it. I might have to start getting up at 5:30 if I really want some FaceTime with him, and I'm working on it. If I can do it, and once I got over my sleep deprivation, I mean, seriously, I used to think 8:30 was like early. Like, oh my God, early. And now I'm just like, whatever. Once you get your sleep under control, everything changes. So there's my offer for you. Oh, and let me give you this offer right here, right now. Oops, not that one. Not that one. Where's my offer? Here we go. Sorry, I'm trying to find all my little clicky buttons here. This offer is only going to last as long as this replay lasts, which is just 1 week. And then zoop, it goes away. So if you want to get that for $7, be my guest. I want you to buy it and implement it. And seriously, it's so much about sleep and not about weight. But once you put these practices together, they are geared towards losing weight. I mean, you won't even know. You won't even know. So with that, I want to remind you that we are doing another Wednesday Wellness webinar next week. And I want you to join me for that. Tell your friends about it. You're in the replay, you are going to get a request from me to turn in your homework or to turn in the work that you did during this workshop. And if you do, I'm going to reach out to you with a 30-minute strategy session so we can put this together. So everybody who has registered for tonight, I'm going to reach out to you when you send me your homework. I'm actually going to reach out to you and ask you to send me your homework. Everybody who registered, and we're going to put this into place for you. All right. And don't forget that offer lasts 1 week and then it's gone. All right. That's everything. And we will see you next time. Oops, went too far. Have a wonderful night and be well.